Good evening once again, and welcome to another episode. I nearly say episode.
Episode?
I'm going to say edition and episode at the same time, and the two of them collided. And episode, I formed my own word. Good evening once again. Welcome to another edition of Caribbean Feedback. My name is Curtis Henry. Sitting in with us this evening, we have two of our regular panelists, Mr. Samuel Archer, our technical director for Muzilog.
That's right. Good night, everyone.
And we have Miss Karin Forrester from BantuKreations. How the two of you all doing this evening?
We're doing well. I'm doing well.
Doing splendiferously excited and splendiferously thirsty. I need a drink. Get some stuff here. You know, I got to have my little munchies. But yeah, we good. I'm excited about tonight.
How do you be thirsty and splendid at the same time? I don't quite get you.
It's a creative thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Lucy O'Brien, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Sam, why don't you run a couple of words from our sponsors this evening, and let's get the show on the road so I can introduce my guest properly.
Okay.
Good.
My name is Karin Forrester. I represent BantuKreations. BantuKreations offers beautifully made, African-inspired, lightweight, handcrafted, one-of-a-kind earrings in wonderful shapes, shades, sizes, and colors. Please don't be scared of the large sizes. They're extremely lightweight earrings. BantuKreations can be found on IG and on Facebook as BantuKreations. That's BantuKreations with a K.
Come check me out, chriskeys.com. I'm worldwide.
Tony Altamirano.
Hi, I'm Gina.
What's up, everybody? I'm Win Vu, award-winning remixer.
Koya, I'm an artist.
Hi, my name's Justina Bethel.
Hi, I'm Mike Bowen from Denton, Texas. How you doing? This is Tom Cup from Music by Tom Cups. Check out Samuel E. Archer's book, Hybrid Executive. We are in the business, and here's how you can be a better business person because you're running your business.
You can find my music at JustinaBeth_EL on Instagram or JustinaBethel.com, and I am a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive, just like you.
Follow me at Koya Music, and I'm also a hybrid executive.
I'm worldwide, baby, but just know I'm a hybrid executive. That's all you need to know, baby.
Get on up, B.
Check out my music, MikeBowen.com. I'm a hybrid executive.
I'm a hybrid executive.
Thank you. Now, is it okay for me to be calling Miss Fowler a guest? She's becoming a regular.
She's a regular.
I appreciate it. You know what? What's the hybrid executive? It sounds fabulous.
You know, I am so excited that you said that. I'm so happy. The Hybrid Executive is my book.
Okay.
Yeah. And
expound on that a little bit.
What happened?
Let's say a little bit more. Boost it up a little bit.
I was about to. I just wanted to, a little space for it to soak in a little bit.
No.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah, you see, she's feeling the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's geared to today's indie artists, and hybrid meaning that next thing, that upgrade, and executive. You know that an executive is. We're CEOs and business people and corporate and some. We don't really wear suit and ties like that. And so with the hybrid executives, meaning that the artists of today, they have to be an artist and they also have to handle the business side of things.
Okay.
I sort of like to hit it off in a little nutshell. But it's a beautiful thing. I'm happy you're excited. Maybe you should get a copy of it and check it out.
I felt like I needed to. I do.
I feel you.
So do I have to go to Amazon to do it, or can I come to your website?
You can go to my website.
Okay, and I wrote it down. AmazonExecutive.com.
Hybrid Executive, or you can go to thehybridexecutive.com.
Gotcha. The
hybrid, THE hybrid, thehybridexecutive.com, and we can work it out for you.
Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
We need to get that good information out there. I'm not into music. I do play the piano though.
But there were people from other industries that that was part of my focus group, and they read the book as well, and they thought that it had some takeaways as well for them. So because it's sort of like a self-help book in a way, and it's a way to shape the mind, renew your thinking pattern. Yeah, so you don't have to be into music in the business, but you can, if you're in a different industry, you can use some of the principles and get your game up.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I need that.
Amen.
So speaking about help, good evening, Dr. Judith. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, thank you. I've been here for a while, okay? So do not say that I am.
Could you pull the top of your screen down for me, please? Just eliminate the ceiling light. Lovely. There is your lovely face, and let's see the lovely smile. There you go. Welcome to the show this evening. Sitting in with us, Dr. Judith, we have Miss Rhonda Fowler. I do believe you've met her before.
Miss Fowler, please let me apologize to you. I saved your number. I intended to call you, and I don't like making excuses, but I have been a busy bee, and I've been sick and a whole bunch of stuff, so I apologize to you, but I will still call you.
Okay, no problem. A lot has gone on the last time we've been together for everybody.
Yes. But good to see you.
Same here.
So as Sam previously stated, his book is here to help. Ms. Fowler, I certainly hope that you can help some of us this evening. I hope that you can leave us with some word, some feeling of hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Ms. Fowler, before you begin, please introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are and what it is you do.
Okay. Well, my name's Rhonda Fowler, and I enjoy working with middle-income families, people who are out there working hard, don't know how to increase their income, would like to learn how to do that, would like to learn how to get out of debt, stay out of debt, be cash, how to become financially independent. I personally believe that we make a lot of money in this country. If you just make $20,000 or $30,000 a year, not a lot, but if you do that for 40 years, that's $1.2 million. And so what happens in that 40 years? Learning, because we don't get education anywhere in high school, college, or anything like that, but learning how to have some of that when you get ready to stop clicking that clock, when you get tired of going in to working, or you want food and shelter. Learning how to put some of that away to build wealth is important. Learning how to protect it is important. And in case, something happens, and we don't make it those 40 years, our family, deserves to have that protected. So teaching people about finances, how to get out of debt, how to become financially independent. And I really appreciated what Samuel said, how to think differently about money, because I think that we're conditioned wrong about it. And so that's what I like to share. Anytime I learn something, I'm like, let me share it with you.
Okay, so this evening, panelists, viewing audience, we're here to discuss debt elimination. If you look around, almost on a daily basis, they keep coming. They keep coming without solicitation, without warning. Every time I check my mailbox, every time, they keep showing up. What am I talking about? Offers for a new credit card. offers for a new credit card, like a tempest in the night. They're just there. They're attempting to lure you further and further down into the abyss.
It's evil.
Of despair.
Evil.
Accumulating more and more of this thing we refer to as debt. How many of us really take the time to read the interest rates on these cards that they convince us that we are pre-qualified for? I often tell them, if I'm pre-qualified, just send me the money. Just send me the card. Why do I have to send you an application? How many of us take time to read the interest rates on these cards before we send for them? It is often said that the big print giveth and the small print taketh away. After a short while, we find ourselves attempting to climb out of what seems like a bottomless pit of creditors, each one with outstretched hands, requesting what is rightfully theirs. In short, the people want their money back. And now you're ready to purchase a home or a new car, and here come Madam Equifax, her husband TransUnion, and their mama Experian. They're out there telling everybody not to trust you. Rhonda, help me. Help me, Rhonda. I am pleading on my behalf and on behalf of the others who are too scared to say that they are deep in debt. Help me, Rhonda. What can I do now that I'm ready to make some big moves in my life? And there are these 3 watchdog agencies who won't stop breathing down my neck.
Give us free. Give us free.
Rhonda.
Okay.
Rhonda,
okay.
Tell us first of all, what happens? What happens when you make only that minimum payment on a credit card? Because they tell you, oh, the minimum payment is $18, but you owe $5,000. What happens when you make only that minimum payment, Rhonda?
Well, let me back up a little bit and talk about how we got into that, because that's a really, really important thing. Okay. The minimum payment is garbage. It really is a cash cow for the company. Okay. It's cash cow for the company, really. Okay. There's revolving debt, and fixed debt. And on those credit cards, it's revolving debt. So I'm simply answering your question real quickly, but I want to get into more detail about it. And what happens is what happened? Everybody went away?
You're good.
Okay.
Just give you a little focus so that, don't worry, we're still here.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. I was.
You see?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What happens is when you pay that minimum payment, okay, whatever your balance was, you get more interest on top of interest. So we think that, like, for example, you're absolutely right with revolving debt. If you, let's say your bill is $200 and you send $100 in, you think your bill's now going to be $100, right? And now your balance is about $150, and it just don't make no sense. Okay. And the bottom line, the cost of money is very expensive. And we've gotten so lured into it that, like you were saying, you got all these cards coming in. We've gotten so lured into it that we're now spending our life trying to keep up with it. And the industry itself is making a bunch of money on us because they're selling us expensive money, really is the bottom line. But you think about—
You said they're selling us money? How does that work?
They're selling us expensive money. We're buying expensive money. That's what we're doing. We're buying very expensive money. And let me tell you how it started, though. Years ago, Sears sold sewing machines. It started really with Sears, okay? Singer sewing machine. And some couldn't go buy the whole machine. And so Sears came up with this thing, $5 down and $5 a month, okay? Putting it in, not the layaway, but you could take it away and pay a little surety, pay a little interest on top of it. And we got lured into that so much to the point when our generation was in college, we get a credit card and we get a credit card and we want a stereo. We go get the $300 stereo and all they ask us for is $25. That's like, that's like, hey, I like this system, Well, I like those tennis shoes over there, or I like that ball over there, that blouse over there. And so we're like, and all they're going to ask me for is $30, $25, $10 is how it all started out. And so now we got this stuff and we got this expensive money we got to, like you say, pay back. But because of the stuff, just having us have access to stuff, it's expensive money. And the way they figure it all out is, if you go get a car or you get a home, you know what the interest rate is, you know what you're going to pay and all of that. It's not that way with credit cards. It's revolving debt. If you're going to get a $15,000 loan, you're better off to get it in a fixed loan than you are to get it in a revolving loan, because it takes forever to pay off that blouse or that food that you ate on that credit card. It's gone down the toilet already, and we're still years later. That's really.
So tell us a trick we can use to pay off credit card bills.
Okay. I got a really good trick. First of all, we got to be smart. I wish I could write something for you. We got to be smart. And I'm going to use that acronym to first say the S stands for stop making the debt. Don't make any more new debt. If you really want to get out of that expensive money, you have to stop using it. Now, we've gotten so used to it that we buy groceries with it. Right? We do all kinds of stuff with it. But it's there for us in terms of us doing the right thing, is there for us to use it for convenience. We got the cash, let's pay it off when that comes. And then you're just using it for convenience because that's what you had at the time. You got me? And you know what? I feel like I need to back up a little bit, because it's really a mindset. What Samuel said earlier about our mindset about money is wrong to begin with.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And it's okay if we learn a new mindset, because we've been conditioned very wrongly, not just by our parents who didn't know, but also about, I call them predators who said, hey, look, that joker right there just got out of college making $30,000. That's $1.2 million. How do I get some of that? There are organizations out there that do that. Well, you know what? He needs to wear those jeans and he needs to use that toothpaste. I'm going to tell him that he's got to buy that to be cool and what happens? That marketing, okay, takes that $1.2 million. So first thing you need to do is stop making debt. If you've made a decision, I want to get out of debt and I want to get cash. And so it may seem like it hurt a little bit, because, when we hooked on something, when we addicted to something, it's hard to break away. For habits, we start new habits to get rid of them, right? To get rid of the bad habits. The second thing, well, you know what? It all goes back to decision. It has to start with a decision, and the decision, has that. You've heard this before. The decide, like homicide and all of that. It's like, I put this to death. This is what I'm going to do. I've made a decision. And which is a really, really important thing to say, I really have. And what we need to learn really is discipline and commitments to our decisions, and it's not their fault. They keep sending that, they send it because they know we're going to use it, and we have to say, you know what, I want to look at my whole financial thing. So I want to totally get out of debt so I can use my money for me, not for them.
That's right.
Okay, that's really the bottom line. And then when we change our mind and start thinking like that those jeans over there is like, if I can't, I don't know, they're not even $30 now. They're like $130. I haven't bought any in a long time. In any case, if I want to get those $30 jeans, I got to take my money over there to do that. So that hurts a little bit because we're so used to pulling out the plastic. That makes sense?
Yes.
And so we got to decide. I'm telling you, that's the foundation of any new thinking. That's the foundation of us breaking away from the rotten conditioning we've had in everything. We're just talking about that right now, but there's a lot of other rotten conditioning that we've had that we have to make a decision. Now, we get bombarded with all of it, but let's take one at a time, okay? And that's how I feel about debt in our finances. Some people will say, oh, you need to invest, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you got debt, you cannot peacefully invest. You really cannot.
You were telling us something a minute ago. You said the first step is to stop.
Smart.
Spelling out smart. Yeah. Could you continue with that for me, please?
Okay, I'm sorry, I got off. M is for make minimum payments. Okay. And that sounds like really crazy, but I have seen people sometimes that have 4 or 5 debts and they got an extra $100 and say, you know what, I'm putting a little $20 extra on each of them. You got to annihilate that stuff. That stuff is cancer. Revolving debt is cancer. Okay. And you have to absolutely annihilate it and use it as it's intended. That's for convenience. Okay. And so to get rid of cancer, it hurts a little bit, right? Got to go through some chemotherapy or whatever. Okay.
We need chemo for this too. Oh my
God. Well, you know what? It's our discipline and commitment that's hard. You know, that's really what it is, and our decision to commit to it. So minimum balances are good to do for all of those little things, not $20 on each of them. If you got $100, we're going to zap out one of them. So we are done with that. You got me? We're done with that one now. Let's zap out the next one. Okay. Yeah. And zap out the next one. And some people think that, no, it's, you know, you think you're doing something, you know, sometimes we got to feel a certain way. So I'm putting $20 of my $100 on each of them. And it's like, it does nothing. It keeps it in a situation where they're still making money off of that revolving debt. If you don't get rid of that sucker, and you got to get rid of it by just take that $100 and get rid of it. That makes sense?
Yes. I read something on Facebook, on IG recently, a couple of weeks ago, that said we're no longer in slavery, we're in debt. And I truly agree with all of that. This is ridiculous that we can't, get out of our own way.
But you know what? We need help with it. We need understanding with it. And that's why I like to partner with people to say, I would even come to your house and take your credit cards and freeze them, put them in a plastic container with some water and put them in the freezer so you can stop. Okay.
And that's what you do to cards. You put them in water and freeze them,
or cut them up. Get some scissors and cut them up.
I like that freezing technique, because now, in order for you to go use that card, the work that you have to go through to get out that block of ice, to crack it up, to thaw it out. By the time you're done with that, you might just forget about going shopping in the first place. But you do keep the card for when the right time comes for you to use it.
For convenience.
What you say.
Yes. Absolutely. And you know what? If you want to go buy something, there's so much to talk about. I feel like I'm all over the place with this. But if you want to go buy something, you got to look at that thing and wait 30 days. If it's a big item, instead of just pulling that thing out. And if you still want it and you prepared for it and you got it, you got to look and say, is this how I want to spend my money on this, as opposed to buying expensive money to get something. That's the chemo. That's the stuff that's hard.
Now, so far you've been talking about the credit card debt, but I think another habit that people have developed, I know I suffered from it and I learned just a little bit too late, was to use the debit card as if it is a credit card, in the sense that because it's a card and because it's so convenient in everywhere you go, you can basically use a Visa or debit card. You don't pay attention if you don't take time out of your day or every other day and make sure you know what your checking and whatever balance is.
it's as bad as, you know what I mean? You're looking around like, whoa, what happened here?
Yeah, you're just sticking it in things. You aren't even paying attention to it.
It's too easy. Way too easy.
You know, have you guys anybody ever left the house with $100 and come back and say, where did that $100 go?
See, that I can track better. I can track exactly what I did, where I used it, and what I'm down to. That I can track. Cash.
$100?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I was trying to be like, I was really thinking of more.
Well, no, but I mean, basically, you can track the cash. I can track the cash better than I can track, the debit card use. I really can, unless I go and check each day what the balance is and make sure the bank is in sync with what I know.
So take me to the A. Take me to the A in smart.
Before I do, let me just talk about what you said about the about using the debit card for because we're jumping on how you use it now. Using that, it helps your credit, it helps everything. Okay. And the other thing is, if you're using credit cards, if you can keep that balance, I don't know, you guys have heard of this, if you can keep that balance under 30% of what your allowable is on it, your max is on it, it helps your credit score go up. Okay, so even if you're going to pay, and I'm not suggesting you get off this system that I'm talking about, but if you're going to pay, keep a watch on that. It's something, if you've decided you're going to get a handle on this stuff, then keeping an eye on that when you make your payments, so that you're always bringing that balance under 30% of what your top number is. That makes sense?
I heard that before, but then I didn't apply it, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's because, like Karin said, you got to look at it you got to look at it all the time. You really do. And you probably got 5 or 6 of them to look at, not just one, right? Okay. All right. So the A, we need to accelerate the dollars in terms of, you make the minimum payments, but we need to find some way to accelerate getting rid of that first debt. And so let's say you had an extra $200, $250 a month. I know I can't show you this, but I did a thing showing mortgage, about 4 credit cards, and a loan. And all of the debt is about $20,000. You know, that's an important thing for us to look at and see, how much debt am I really in? Okay. How much debt and what each month does that cost me? The example that I put together for y'all, it was a cost of $1,230 going toward debt out of an income is a hard thing to do, because we don't make a lot of money each month working for somebody. You got me? And $1,230 a month making minimum payments is a lot. So how do you get an extra $200 to knock out that first debt? Okay. A lot of different ways. That's a whole nother subject I'm getting ready to get into. But your cable bill, you probably don't use the cable. You can probably come down on that, right? You can probably turn your alerts on your account to keep track of spending. A really, really good thing. There are a lot of things that you can do today. Okay. In terms of watching, getting a car. Getting a new car is not the right thing to do, okay? For a lot of debt reasons and all kinds of things, In any case, if you were to take $250 and apply it to that first debt and knock it out in a few months, and let's say that first debt was $50 a month, and you took $200 and knocked it out because you found money other places that you were wasting. Okay. You tracked it, you found other places and said, let me apply it to this debt because I've decided to get rid of it. This accelerates that. So even a house can be included in that. You got a 15 or a 30-year mortgage. You can get done with all of that stuff in 7 years if you decide to do it. Okay. And so you got the $200 and now you're done with that debt. So now you got $250, because remember, you were doing $50 a month on that before, what they were asking for. You got $250 to apply to the next debt. Do the minimums on everything else, And now when that next debt that was $100 a month is done, you got $350 to accelerate and apply to the next one. That's
glory.
Huh?
I just said glory, glory.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, the thing that I put together to show you, a person gets out of their debt doing an extra $200 7 years earlier than they would have had they kept doing it the way they were doing it.
Take us to the
repeat. Like I was just saying, I went to the R. Repeat that. Once you accelerate a debt, you take that extra money and accelerate the last one. And the T is treat yourself when you're all done.
Treat yourself.
But not in the same way to get yourself back in there.
No.
I just barely treat myself.
Treat yourself and buy a nice car.
Let me tell you, you freed up. Buy a nice used car, okay? A good used car, okay?
You can get a new one.
So let me reiterate that for people who have been taking notes. The smart way to get rid of debt, SMART. Write them in descending order. S, stop making debt. M, make minimum payments. A, accelerate your payments. R, rinse and repeat. And T, treat yourself. At the end of it all, learn to celebrate the small victories is what you're saying. Pat yourself on your back.
Absolutely.
I do understand. I do get you on that.
Absolutely. Now, let me tell you something. In the example that I put together, I did it for a 57-year-old because sometimes older people feel like, oh, it's too late for me. I'm just going to die with debt. No, you're not. You don't have to. Okay. So I did it for a 57-year-old. They were done with all of that debt that I just told you about. It was 4 years earlier than they were going to. So they had they had 1480 to now free up each month. That was going toward their debt. Okay.
And that was part of my a question that I was going to pose to you is based on the person's age, what would you say to the 20, the 40, and say the 60-year-old?
Okay. We got to look at all the debt. Let's look at put it all out there.
Let's say they all had identical amounts and so in the same areas. How would you advise differently based on they're 2 decades apart?
Okay, so I wouldn't advise any differently in terms of the SMART thing that I just told you.
Okay.
All of that SMART, minimum payments, accelerate, repeat, and treat yourself. All of that's the same. But let me tell you what the difference is. Maybe somebody who's younger couldn't accelerate $200. Will still, do it. Maybe you could do $50, and of course, an older person might not be able to find the extra money. I will show you how to find the extra money. Okay. It's really easy to do because we waste a lot. And if we this, we can do it. Think about this. This is part of debt. Okay. This is part of the mindset. You think about this. Somebody who works a job, get up in the morning, go to have breakfast at McDonald's. What do they spend? I'm serious. They spend let's say $5. Okay. And am I talking to you, Karin?
No, not at all. No.
Okay. Eating out in the street is a bad thing. Okay. And then for lunch, they spend let's say $8. Okay. And then on the week, maybe they'll get a snack or something, go get a coffee. Those things are so expensive. Okay. And get a snack or something like that, spend another $5 or $3. This is somebody who's maybe working on a construction site, so they do that on a routine basis. Because one of the things I was going to talk about too is that we got blue collar, white collars, people who do sales, people who have their traditional businesses, and people who invest. Okay. And they're working and trying to make money and stuff like that. And it's like the same kind of debt thing goes on through all of these people. It really, really does. And so if you do that $5 for the breakfast and all of that, I think I've added up about $20 a day times 5 times 4. 4 weeks in a month. Okay. And a person, and when I look at people's stuff, I will say, can you take your lunch at least 3 days out of the week? This is an example of pay your bills with a card that offers cash back. You have to be careful of that, just as long as you are making sure that you are paying those things on time and keeping it under 30%, because that's another way,
So Rhonda, explain to me this thing about, I've heard the term used quite often, use debt to pay off debt. Okay. Where you explain that to me.
You know what? Okay, so I know people who invest or start businesses. Like, for example, my family, we owned a Burger King franchise at one time. And so we had to come together with a lot of money in Georgia. We moved to Georgia and did a Burger King franchise. I hated that business. But anyhow, we had to come up with a lot of money and a lot of collateral to do it. We were in a lot of debt. A lot of people get in a lot of debt, but I'm going to tell you, our debt to income ratio was not going away till about the 7th year. Okay. We were fighting every day to make sure we could bring down that debt. Okay. And that's one way people get in debt. And honestly, most businesses that do that will be out of business in 3 to 5 years. And it's because of the debt. It's because of the debt. And I think that's another part of our system. Now, there are some debt we need, like we need to get a house, okay?
No, but what I was referring to is how some people recommend that you take out a new credit card. You use that card to pay off the outstanding debt, and now you have a fresh card with a lower interest rate on that money that you just accumulate. Explain that. How is that done?
Okay, so sometimes there are opportunities out there to get a lower rate. For example, if you look at all your cards and you see that you got 25%, 29%. Do you know I saw one that was 35% one time? It just seemed like those guys should be in jail, okay? Did that. But you see that, and if someone qualifies for something that is 12% or 15%, and they're able to take that debt, let's say that they got a credit card for $3,000, and on their other credit cards, they had $1,500 or $500 or $300. If they're able to take that and put it on that other card, then they can get rid of that high interest and pay it off on another card. And some companies allow you to do that. Some credit card companies allow you to do that. And that helps with the interest payments, but you still got to get rid of the balance. You got me?
So that is something that you would recommend?
I would say, yeah, that's a part in this process. That's not the main thing. And like sometimes people will go to, and I'm not dogging this out, but sometimes people will go to get credit repair so that they can get in debt. Let me get my credit straight, get it high so I can go borrow some money. We just have to really put a good plan together and think about how that makes sense to be able to do that. You got me? And this program that I'm talking about, this SMART program that I'm talking about, it will help your credit score get better, okay? It'll help your putting a full analysis together is really important. Now, I have some people say, well, isn't it important for me to take that $200 and invest it? And this is what I discovered. Like, even if you're like, one of the places you could find money is if you're doing a retirement plan and you're like in your 40s, you're doing a retirement plan and you got a lot of debt, you need to get out of that debt. That needs to go. And if you do this SMART program, what happens is you can get out of it sometimes in a year, sometimes in 2 years. You don't have to have that lingering on. And so if you have an extra $200 and you put it during the acceleration period, some people would say, but I'm not investing that money during that time. What I found every time I look at this, a person over that 7-year period saves 31%. 41% in debt cost, where if they were growing their money at 10%, they never could have caught up with that. So it's important to get out of that debt. You got me?
So tell us, Ms. Fowler, is this a service that you provide for the general public?
I do. I do. Actually, it's a free service, to be able to look at your stuff and put a program together to see what is it you need to do to be able.
Hold on. Back up. Quick. You said it's a what kind of service?
A free service. It's a free
I need for you to repeat that again. It's free 99.
It's that's right.
$3.99.
$3.99.
So I know you have a wealth of information that we can share. We can stay on this topic for the entire program. Actually, we were supposed to just talk for about 15 minutes, but I decided, but there's so much vital information. Let me let you keep going. But right now, what I would like for you to do, Ms. Fowler, is answer one question for me before you leave and tell the people where they can find you. I need for you to give that information again and give it slowly. So you mentioned credit card interest rates prior. Please let us know what is a good interest rate on a credit card, because as I stated, these letters, they keep coming in the mail. One.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Tell us what is a good rate and tell the people where they can find you to get some more information.
Okay. And you know what? When my daughter, she's in her 30s now. When she was 16, she got a credit card offer. I can't tell you how upset I was that happened, because they're going to do it. They're not going to stop doing it. Okay. But I'm going to tell you my credit card interest rates. I don't really pay a lot of attention to it, because you know what? I never pay any interest on it whatsoever. I just use my cards. What's that? Respond by. Oh, and by the way, those things that say that you are you're pre-authorized or you're pre-qualified to apply. That's what that is. You're pre-qualified to apply, and then they'll see if they're going to reject you or not. And
after that's another danger we have to look out for. They do a hard pull on your credit report, which in turn does what?
It takes your score down. It takes your score down with those kind of hits. It takes your score down. And that's why it's important to put a good plan together, because everybody's willy-nilly and doing. I mean, we've talked about probably about 10 different things that I could go into so much detail about. Like someone put something up here like pay once a week on something. There's some things that you could do on fixed debt to bring the principal down, and you don't end up paying all of that interest, And so it's not something that, like you were saying, 15. That's why I feel like I've been all over the place. But I hope that everybody knows there is an answer out there. It might hurt a little bit. And when I say hurt, because you just have to change habits. That's all. And change thinking. And, that hurts sometimes.
Thank you, Rhonda. So give us a good interest rate on a credit card. That was the question. What is a good interest rate that you can feel comfortable accepting somewhere there?
Yeah. Well, I, like I said before, I think that I think buying expensive money is bad. So I wouldn't, I would take any of them. I would, especially if you decided that you were going to, unless your thing is, hey, I want to pay expensive money, then find the lowest one you can. Okay. If you're going to keep your balances on there, find the lowest.
What is low? What is low, Rhonda? What is low? What is high?
12%, 15%. The lowest in general is 21% though.
21% low, 30-something% ridiculous.
Yeah, but no, I've seen some at 12% and 15%. It depends on your credit. It depends on the company you're doing it with. It depends, depends on a lot.
I've seen some as low as 7.99.
Wow.
Okay, so
I have
going
one
anywhere
now.
Have you had a long time?
Yeah. I've had it so long that I have put other things on there. at a higher rate, paid it off. But I never, I don't pay the minimum, and I paid. Now I'm learning. I pay a couple times a week on it, but I think one of the key things that you said, yeah,
I'm sorry.
And like you said, I don't really worry about interest rate because I don't intend to keep the bill long.
I don't intend to pay for that money.
Right.
If you're purchasing money, credit card is the worst place to purchase money. It just is.
But I think what you said, the key thing to me that you said is your mindset. And I don't like debt, so I fight against it. But
and once you get out of it, what's wrong with buying stuff for cash? There are a few things you do need to get a loan for, but you got to prepare yourself to buy things for cash because they've conditioned you to get expensive money. And if you don't like it and you want to get out of it, you can. It's not. You're not locked down to it. You just have to do the things to move to cash,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Fowler, thank you. Again, I cannot say thank you enough. Please tell the people, please tell the people where we can find you, what your social media links, how can people get in contact with you?
I am so not liking social media, but I'm trying to come out of the closet. I really want to come out of the closet. So this is I just put my number there. Oops.
Could you call it out since it's for the general public? Could you call the number out?
Yes, 305-494-4425. And my name is Rhonda.
Repeat it for me, please.
Yes, 305-494-4425.
Thank you so much, Rhonda Fowler, for joining us this evening. Make sure, let me repeat that number for you, 305-494-4425. Her name is Rhonda Fowler.
I need to get with you ASAP to go over those envelopes you've been showing us.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. I really appreciate
Thank you.
coming on. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Take care. God bless.
Do I click off here?
No, that's Mr. Archer.
Okay.
Yes. Sammy.
That's what's up.
Let's roll with Judith.
Well, you gotta play mine first. Ciao.
You wanna play yours last?
Yes.
Ladies first. Baby.
I don't mind being last. Hi, I'm Dr. Judith Barnes. I'm an author, a playwright, poet. I'm also a broadcaster by training, and I recently found out about 2 years ago that I can paint paintings, which means I paint sceneries, I paint landscape, I paint animals. I have just discovered, and so that I can do this. And so along with all the other gifts and talents that I've been blessed with, I have paintings, and they are on view and for sale on Etsy and also on Facebook. And if you desire to order any painting or order one of my books, because I'm also an author, please give me a call at 470-564-8267. That's Dr. Judith, and the number again, whether you want to just talk to me or order one of my paintings or one of my books, please feel free to call 470-564-8267. Thank you.
All right.
You have another one, sir. Keep the thing going. You have another commercial. Well.
All right.
Hello there and welcome. My name is Curtis Henry. Over the past few weeks, as we were putting the final pieces together to get the show on the road, some people ask, why do you need to showcase Caribbean people? Why Caribbean Chat? And I say, why not? Because we as Caribbean people have worked too hard, come too far, and suffered too long for us to continue taking a backseat. It's time for us to rise up, speak out, and show the world the value and the richness of our culture. So I'm providing a platform to showcase the history and culture of Caribbean people in entertainment, the arts, politics, sports, and economics. We will explore the many profound contributions they have made to society. So we invite you to stay with us as we launch what is to become one of the greatest voices of Caribbean people, for Caribbean people, by Caribbean people. On this platform, Caribbean people of excellence get to tell their story. Our aim is to ensure that your contributions are acknowledged and celebrated. Welcome to Caribbean Chat. So make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We are Caribbean Chat.
Thank you so much and welcome back. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge some of the supporters, some of the people who are on with us. Sherry Ann Sylvester, good night, good night, good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Denise L. Williams, Yvonne Emmanuel, Andrea Lamoth, and where is Miss O'Brien? Lucy O'Brien, how are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As I said before, it's always a pleasure having you all here with us. We welcome your presence. We welcome your input. For those of you who are in the chat, make certain that you subscribe to the channel. When you go onto YouTube, give us a thumbs up. See the little thing that looks like this? Thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let's know what's happening. Let's know what's happening. If you a lot of you all come on here and give Judith a lot of praises, go on there and say that. Leave the comment. What up, Dr. Judith? I like Dr. Judith. Some of you all come on here and big up Karin. Why? I don't know. Go on there, leave a comment. Spread that love and let her know. Leave it there. Leave it there on the show. And let her know that we really feeling you, Karin, on your comments. We have some people that come on here and they just rag on Sam. Go over there on in the comment section on YouTube and rag on Sam some more. See, Miles to Infinity. She just come on. She didn't even say good night. She just jump on. Dr. Judith, that's my girl. Yo, I wish I had the button. I would have cut you off right now. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm not the technical person. That's Sam's job. She just jump on, not even good night. Good night, Curtis. That would have been nice. But she jump up. Dr. Judith, that's my look. Dr. Judith not even on the screen right now. But she jumping up.
She have a fan base, man. Fan base.
Denise gave me a thumbs up here. Denise, I appreciate the thumbs up. I need that thumbs up on YouTube. All right? When you go on the YouTube channel, give me that thumbs up. All right? Let me know that we're doing a good job. Let's know that, you know, how you're feeling. Let us know how you're feeling. Let me know your thoughts. So, where do I take this from here?
Milestone.
We call this we call this section this session this evening reality roundtable.
Yep.
Talking reality. Now I decided to do something a little different this evening. Sam, my good buddy here, he don't like to talk about it a lot, but he's a music producer. He's a recording artist. Self-included, recording artist. Calypsonian. Write lyrics. We sing lyrics. For those of us who may not be into music, but we're into music, we listen to music. You buy music. And music is a kind of thing with a vibe, just sometimes listening to a song, just hearing the music of itself, it could alter your mood. Yeah, change your behavior. Bob Marley said it best. He said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain.
That's right.
Like I said, we all know music could immediately change your mood and subsequently your behavior. But what about the lyrics or the song title? Can the music affect you in one way and the lyrics pull you in a completely different direction? Today, I'd like to discuss some song titles as to what those couple of words that you choose to name a song, how do you respond to a song title, whether you're familiar with the song or not? During the 70s, one of the greatest balladeers of that time, to me, in my humble opinion, was a gentleman called Barry White. I don't know, some of you all here might be too young. Hey, Judith ain't come back yet?
She walking around the kitchen.
Yeah, some of you all here might be too young to remember Barry White.
No.
But Barry White had a song late in his career. This is when he sort of rejuvenated his career. I know the whole story, but I'm not going to tell it right now. And he came back with a song called Practice What You Preach. We know what he's talking about in the song, right? Some girl running up the mouth and he said, all right, come here. Time to practice what you preach. But if we didn't know the song and we just hear those words, Sam, what do those words speak to you? Practice what you preach.
Well, self-explanatory. What you're preaching, as what you're telling others to do, you should be living that as well. You know, if you're giving counsel, you know, it's not do as I say, not what I do, or do not as I do, but it's, you know, let what I do be an example, or let my life be an example for, you know, so you're practicing what you preach, basically.
Say what you mean what you say, all of that.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Karin?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you ain't done? Okay, I thought you were done on that.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just smoothing out the end, you know.
Well, yeah. Finish smoothing out your thing.
Yeah, it's smooth. You know, we sandpaper it and thing. It's real smooth.
So, Karin, you want to take a bite off of that one?
Basically, I mean, do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Keep your word to other people. If you make promises, that's very important to me. If I make a promise to someone, even if it's something small, I will be there on Thursday at 9. 9 o'clock is not when you find out I won't be there if I can't make it. You know what I mean? So I keep my word and I try to live by my own rules, so to speak. You know, practice what you say you're going to do it. Get it done and stick to it.
The place that it stands out for me most in society is when I look at some of the televangelists. Now, I know none of us are perfect beings. We all like to think that we striving for perfection and we somewhere close to it. But when you get on a public platform and you preach and you ridicule, you criticize, now the whole public eyes on you as an example, and you're supposed to be a shining example of the things that you talk about. And then all of a sudden you see them so they catch them, some paparazzi catch them someplace they're not supposed to be, engaging in some act that they're not supposed to engage in. And then before you know it, the whole organization that you set up, the whole church, everything come crumbling down because you're being a hypocrite. You're outside preaching one thing, which is okay, but I have 3 words: lead by example. So how is it you as an individual could get up there as what's the word you often use, Karin? You have this high moral compass and you set yourself out there as a quote-unquote leader, and then before you know it, you out there practicing some of the same dirty deeds that you're ridiculing people about, and then you get caught. So practice what you preach. Judith, what do those words mean to you?
Exactly what he says. You know, I don't like to say a lot of. I say a lot of stuff. So I have to be careful that I'm not just talking because it sounds good. I have to be sure that I'm living what I'm speaking. So I'm very big on that. Like Karin just said, like I felt bad that I had promised to get in touch with Miss Fowler, and just got so much stuff going on. Never called her. Never followed up with her. That made me feel bad, especially when I knew she was going to be on. And then when I saw her, I said, well, I got to say something to her. Because normally, unless I die, I usually keep my word. I mean, I don't say things easily I'm going to do unless I mean it. So, but it's walking the talk, as somebody just said there. And it's hard to walk the talk.
Oh, yes.
Because you become a target for other people. And usually for people who don't walk the talk, and people who don't want to be committed to walking the talk. Those are the ones that usually come at you and try to prove. I found some people when they're around me, it's like they take pleasure in trying to prove that I'm not who I say I am. Sorry. So that makes me even more determined to live what I speak. So that's what it means to me. You know.
Over the course of my life, I've been labeled many things. Some people call me a rebel without a cause. Some people say I'm a rebel with a cause. But it's one of those labels that I hold on to. I am a rebel. A rebel like myself, I could identify with a particular song by Frank Sinatra called My Way.
Oh, no.
I did it. What do you mean? Oh, no.
Oh, gosh, no. The originals. That's the version to hear of My Way. That is the best version.
Original what?
The originals. The group, the originals sang My Way first.
So the way you're saying the original group named the originals?
I don't know about the original group, but the original. That is some double talk nonsense. That's Trini talk.
No.
The original sang the first version of My Way, and they sang it the best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's one of my most favorite songs. One of my
you're telling
most
me you're telling me Frank Sinatra's version of My Way is a cover.
Pretty much.
It's a cover of the original song.
Who sang the original?
Huh?
Who sang the original?
The originals.
The group, the originals, I believe, is credited with the first version.
Okay. I never knew. I didn't realize that it's a group named the original.
And it's beautifully done. Beautifully done. Love
okay,
that song to death.
So talk about My Way.
My Way, I could literally repeat the lyrics, but that is not allowed. It talks about, it affects me because it talks about basically following your own path. Chart your own path, follow it. Don't make excuses. If you fall, get the heck up. Keep going, because, you will make the mistakes. But in the end, what your family expects of you to stay in one career, in my situation, stay in one career for your whole life, then enjoy your retirement. That's fine for some. But when you know that you have different interests and different passions and different strengths and skills, you have to explore those things as well. So don't be afraid to make changes, pivot. The new term in the industry is to pivot. And your peers are shocked when you decide that after 20-something years in one career, you just decided to just, I'm done.
Not enough.
And change direction. But you've just got one life to live. I'm not about following people and following the path that's been laid out. I'm about seeing what's right for me, what's comfortable for me, where I'm happiest, And for me, I had to do it my way.
My way. Anybody want to say anything about that? My way. Like I say, I'm a rebel. I don't care what nobody say. At the end of the day, I doing it my way. I had no long lecture to give on this. Yeah. They know how I stay. I doing it my way.
Yeah, doing like Burger King, you know. When you do something your way, it's not like you're trying to you're not trying to be disrespectful. You know, it's not like, well, this is my life and I run this, and you know, you're not coming with that energy. You know, you did it your way, meaning that you believed in a particular thing. You believed in something, and you went and you achieved that, whatever it is, you know. And then, so when you say you did it your way, you might have had naysayers that may not have agreed with what it is you were going to attempt. You know, maybe you wanted to do medicine, or you wanted to approach, you know, you wanted to go back to class, or you wanted to build a building, or you wanted to buy a new car, you know, like we was talking about tonight. And although it was suggested you buy a good secondhand, you go do your way and you go and just buy a brand new car. Because you need the parts to be new. A second-hand car that might be working good, you know, might have a little old thing, you know, you might have to buy a new alternator for that. And then after, when you change that, the fella, he move it too rough, so it damage a hose. And then
so you end up compounding the issues and stuff. And have to do with a car. But in the end, at least you're satisfied with your decision, because this is the route you chose to go. So at least you could stand behind your mistakes, stand behind your own errors or your successes, and be responsible for them.
Yeah, and who the cap fit, let them wear it.
Yeah, whoever gets offended with that, Judith. Empress Judith said, bless up family. Sometimes we just need to stop preaching. That is in reference to the first conversation about practice what you preach. Stop preaching, start listening, or simply have a conversation instead. She also chimed in on the second questions, my way. It takes self-trust and self-confidence, faith to feel the fear and to get up and do it anyway.
That's right.
So that at the end of the day, you can stand on the rooftop and say, I did it my way.
That's right. That's right. Yes. That's right. That's right. That's
Your
right.
feet may still be shaking because you can't believe you did what you did. You did it.
But you know, talking about Sinatra, it reminds me of this song that he talk about New York. Just take the name of that city there for me, Sam. New York.
Yeah, man. New York. Like, just take it.
What does that do for you? Talk to me, New York.
Well, you know, I lived in New York, you know, and it's an understanding. It's a city. It's a place that is prestigious around the world. It's known, and you know, you have really good drivers from New York. You know, if you could drive in New York, you could drive anywhere else, because you know, especially Church Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. If you could drive on Church Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, and you could drive on Flatbush Avenue.
Oh God.
You could rail drive. and if you could drive in Manhattan in rush hour, now you're going to the platinum status of driving, brethren, because it's a whole different kind of drive inside there.
Oh God.
With the yellow cabs and them fellas. It's a, you know. And New York, you know, like, you know, we in states now that, you know, things are a little bit, you know, a little bit weeded, you know. It a little slow, you know. But like New York, you have to be on the pulse, you know. You had to be ready, you know. So when I was selling CDs and I would walk on Church Avenue and move product, if you could sell in New York, you could sell anywhere.
Anywhere.
If you could walk and somebody buy something from you, or you put up a table and someone buy something from you, and then you could, after that now you could go to the grocery and get some saltfish and some flour and some chive and onion and shadow benny. You could get those things. You could handle anything anywhere else. And one more thing. One more thing. This is a real serious experience. If you could go in the subway as a musician in the winter and play music, especially around Christmas time, and you get some money, man, you're inside. You're inside. You're right inside.
That culture of New York City, it's unlike anything that I've ever seen. I've been to Chicago, I've been to LA, and they have their street thing going on. I've been to Atlanta, the underground, but there is nothing. I've been to Miami. There's nothing like that vibe in New York City. And like you said, if the song said, if you could make it there, you can make it anywhere.
Promise you.
There are people who go to New York and trust me, it break their back. It break them.
Yeah.
It break them. Yeah. But if you can make it in that place with some of the things that you just described, with the weather fighting against you, actually stopping a stranger in the street and selling something, people don't even listen to you if you're asking for directions. The minute you say, excuse me, no, because they swear you're begging them something. So they keep moving. So to have that entrepreneurial spirit that you just spoke about, to move along the streets and actually cause an individual to stop from his journey and pay attention to your product and able to do a transaction and get money from him in exchange for your goods, that is a skill that very few people can possess. And like you say, with that in New York or coming out of New York, you could almost make it anywhere. That's some good insight. Some good insight on New York.
It's powerful. It's powerful.
Do you know the song, Curtis, Suddenly by Billy Ocean?
Yes.
Suddenly.
No. We don't say we're not listening people. We're not singing people's songs.
What does it mean to you?
I didn't sing the song.
No, we don't want no copyright infringement. Don't go there.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you want suddenly.
Yeah.
The word suddenly, the one memory that it conjured up for me, it's a bit on the morbid side.
Oh, really?
Seeing my mother Saturday, midday. Going to work Monday morning and getting a phone call that she was there. Suddenly.
Wow.
That news came to me suddenly. Nothing I ever dreamed of, nothing I ever expected, nothing I ever anticipated. Suddenly.
So I didn't expect you to say something sad about that, but it's so funny that you refer to that as something sad. Because I just got a call before I got on the show from my cousin in New York. She has a niece whose 11-year-old was struck while riding on his bicycle and officially is considered brain dead. So they're preparing for that. So that sudden information is just absolutely shocking. And for a mother to have to deal with that is just ridiculous. You have to scrape me up off the sidewalk. Something like that. I don't think the strength that it takes to deal with your child. So that is something that
I remember a group. Let me take old school here. I remember a group. I can't remember the song, the name of the song. I think it's something to do with flower.
The flower?
No, something with flower. But the song talk about, I think Skylark is the name of the group. Wildflower. But in that song, it's talk about she's a lady. Judith, when you hear she's a lady, what does that conjure up for you?
Not me.
Dr. Judith.
When I first heard that song many years ago, I thought of myself because one of the lines, I'm not singing it, one of the lines said, she's faced the hardest time she can imagine.
Yes.
Many times her eyes fought back the tears.
Yes.
Wow.
And it applied to me somewhat in my youthful days. And then the job where I work now, I have this little girl. She's just turned 19. She was 14 months old when her mother was driving. I don't know if the mother was drunk. I don't know what was going on, but the mother was driving and a car accident at 14 months old. This child was in the car with her mom and her life was forever changed. She wasn't born with any impediments that they know, but I guess she had brain injury. And one of the most physically beautiful human beings I've ever seen. Gorgeous little girl. And the only thing, the one way that you can get her is by music. And she doesn't talk much. She really talks, and if she does, it's really not talking. But she and I had a bond the moment we met each other. And I looked at her and I thought, my God, if she was supposedly normal, those boys would be chasing her. She'd probably be chasing them too. She got a strong personality. And she and I were born a few days apart, and there was just a kindred spirit that we had with each other. But one day I looked at her and I said, that's what you are. You're a wildflower. And I played that song for her. And we dance with them sometimes in the classroom. And I played the song for her and I said, Hannah D, that's you. Your face, and she doesn't know she's facing these difficult times. But it's not so much the lady part of it. It's just what she's facing that makes me think of her. And so I dedicated that song to her. And whenever we're in the classroom, she can get rowdy, she can go off, and I play that song. And she knows words to almost every song that you can play. And a music teacher at school explained to me about brain injury, dementia, and music, and how somebody can actually remember their past from playing music for them. So that's the thing. We call her Hannah D. That song, that's my title song for her. So it's twofold. It affected me when I first heard it many years ago. And I look back on my child, and then I met this little girl, and she just fit right in there. I like when I said she's. Many times her eyes fought back the tears.
I love that
and when
song.
she was about to fall in something. But it's just such a simple, straightforward song. Powerful lyrics. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
When I hear the title, She's a Lady, a particular sister comes to mind. I don't know how many of you all remember this black, beautiful sister. She had roots in Barbados, and she was the first woman to run.
Okay.
The first black woman to run for president. You all remember her?
Chisholm.
Chisholm.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk and I hear that she's a lady, I look at this woman and we were living in a different time then in this country. And the way she stood up strong, the way she stood proud, the way she stood there unafraid, unbothered, surrounded by white men. And she was this strong figure in between. And I grabbed the phrase from her where she said, I'm unbought and unbossed. I love that. Unbought and unbossed. Shirley Chisholm, that there, it was a lady. The way she dressed, the way she carried herself. And she was like, I don't care what you think about me. I'm here. You better recognize. I'm going to be here whether you like it or not. That was one strong sister to me. She's a lady. That is who stands out in my head when I hear that particular phrase.
Mm-hmm.
As Empress Judith says, poised, respected, because she has self-respect. And Diane responded to Wildflower by Skylark, so I was correct. Yes, I was correct in terms of the name of the song and the name of the group. She's a lady. Look, I talked about Sinatra a minute ago, and I went old school. Let me keep it old school a bit. I don't know if any of you here, this was one of my mother's favorite singers. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this guy called Jerry Butler.
My most favorite.
He has a song there called Walk Easy, My Son. Walk Easy, My Son. Sammy? Sammy, walk easy, my son.
No. Forget about Sammy. Come to me. Jerry Butler is my most favorite singer of all time. All time.
How many favorite singers?
I did get an opportunity to see him perform.
I thought Barry Salmon was your favorite
here
singer.
In Florida. Huh?
I thought Barry Salmon was your favorite singer.
No.
She's a teaser.
Jerry,
I thought I was your favorite singer. But
No. Jerry Butler.
Teasing people.
Jerry
Butler's Walk Easy, My Son.
I never heard that one.
Oh my
Jerry
goodness.
Butler, Jonathan Butler.
Jerry.
You say the name of 5 times already, and you think I don't know the difference between Jerry and Jonathan.
Walk Easy, My Son. Dr. Judith, if you get a chance, just
I'm
YouTube
try
it.
to see it tonight.
Just YouTube it. The lyrics are just absolutely amazing.
But
I think I heard it for the first time at somewhere on age 14, 15. And the lyrics stayed with me. If the song is playing, I could sing every word to that song. It talks about as an individual and being part of family and community and being each other's support. You know, there's a line from the song, if everyone had his own piece of land, he would never know hunger. It just talks about staying together, supporting each other, and if there is any emergency, there's a line in there that says Sally's house burned down, and the whole community in a rural area came together and made sure she was fine, and they weren't looking for anything in return. You understand what I'm saying? Being a real part of the community that you're in, and being your brother's keeper of sorts. It's
my sister Toots. My sister Toots. That's one of her favorite singers. So she probably knows that.
Gosh, I love Jerry.
It's called Walk. What is it?
Walk Easy. Walk Easy, My Son.
Okay.
I wish we didn't have the restrictions we do, but it is what it is. It's a gorgeous song.
Easy, My Son. I was showing that to
reggae, and you can get to read it. Walk easy, my son.
I don't actually appreciate them type of borrowing. Like something.
I was throwing that one at Sam, walk easy.
No, man, son, you can't throw it at Sam. You gotta throw it here. No, man. It's my guy.
I hear that.
So I'm thinking about my partner there from the Commodores, Lionel Richie.
I know.
And he has a song called Hello.
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 Me, you're looking for.
Is it me?
No, just hello. No. We ain't dealing with the song, people. We're dealing with the song title.
Sorry.
Hello. I'll go first on that one. what immediately jumped to my mind? I don't know if a lot of women in the street right now, they're craving for attention. That somehow they think every syllable that come out your mouth, you're trying to holler at them. Sometimes you say hello, or you say good morning, and they watch you from the top of your head down to your shoe and back up. As if you're unworthy of saying hello to them. What is it about you that you think you're so special that I am unworthy to say hello to you? All I did is say good morning. That's it. Good morning. You can translate that. That's what it means. Good morning. There's nothing else coming behind that. Nothing else attached.
That's a regional illness because in certain southern states like South Carolina, Georgia, you don't say hello, then somebody is offended. Not by you greeting them. They're offended if you don't greet them. My goodness. It's ridiculous.
I was now that you say that, I was telling somebody many years ago when I lived in New York, I was walking on going toward York Avenue where Sloan Kettering is. And I saw this man that I thought I recognized, and I did recognize him. And I was so stupefied, I didn't know what to do with myself. And it was James Earl Jones. And he was going into an office, but he was stepping down. You know, Sam, he's born around the same time as you, late January.
Special people are born in that time, yes.
Anyway, he was stepping down. At the time he had cancer. I didn't know it then.
Oh.
But he was stepping down to go into this radiology office. And I saw him and I recognized, I go, and this is what I did. Oh, hi. And he turned around and he tipped his hat and he said, hello. I said, I'm dead. And all he said was hello. He didn't mean anything except what he said.
Oh gosh.
And he said it in that, he said, hello. I said, oh, come on, you're too wicked first thing in the morning like this is too much for me. And the man asked me my name. I had to hesitate. I go, I couldn't remember my name. But all he said was hello. And that was all. And when he asked me my name, I was trying to remember which one to tell him. But that was it. In a matter of minutes, he went on about his business. I went to work. But I agree with you. People, Curtis, I think people, men and women, you're not sure why, somebody's saying something to you, think that they mean something else. Sometimes people do mean something else, but sometimes they just mean hello.
Sometimes good morning is simply good morning or good afternoon. That's all it is. My goodness.
Okay, since I mentioned Beres Hammond a minute ago, let me give you this song title. I Feel Good. I feel good.
I feel good
too.
I keep on telling Curtis it's unavoidable to bring the lyrics to your mouth. Like, okay, stop.
I feel good.
See? Same thing. See? All right.
Oh, yeah.
School all over.
Talk to me. I feel good.
I can tell you. I can say something about that. Since I've been sitting here, I don't know if you notice I've been doing this. I've been doing that, looking, and I did a painting I finished it right before you came on. And I'm doing that because I feel good. I feel good about what I created. I mean, I'm looking at it like, come on. I mean, it's the colors, the vibrancy of it. I can't wait to put it upright so I can take a picture of it. And last couple of days, I had some little rough stuff going on. But today, and the other thing is that I can't paint inside the house anymore because I did the flooring. The whole house has been refloored. So I can't do what I was doing. I had soiled carpet in here that I didn't care if paint was on it. Now I have to go paint in the garage. So but I feel good about what I created in the garage today. So that's my little say so there.
What do you feel good about, Sam?
What do I feel good about?
Yes.
There's a lot of things I feel good about. A lot of things.
I'm sorry.
Why Dr. Judith Barnes? A lot of things I feel good about.
Oh, God, help me.
Got to be alive and strive. Yeah, I feel good. I feel blessed. And I've actually taken another meat break. You know, I do these meat breaks, and I feel good.
So you're off the flesh.
I am somewhat off the flesh. Yeah, you can say so.
Curtis, sorry, Sam. One other thing. I feel good about a verdict today in this country. I felt so good I cried.
Yes.
I cried about that.
You cried?
Because I remember what made the verdict possible. I cried because it's about time. So I feel it's tears, but I feel good. Very, very good. Very good.
Writing was on the wall.
Yep. About time.
Andrea said, "You guys are my feel-good Tuesdays."
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
So you see how she was able to draw from that? I feel good that it's Tuesday and I could turn in here and listen to you guys. Andrea said, "Oh, Empress Judith." Andrea, oh, that is so touching. That is so touching. Oh. So, guys, on my Feel Good Tuesdays, I gotta keep reading that. You know, it's nice to know that you appreciate it. You know, it's nice to know that you appreciate it.
That's right.
Except you don't like when they appreciate me.
Lucy said, "I feel good when I see my keep on falling."
I keep on falling. No, I keep on falling in some things that I strive to do, much to my annoyance. I have always had a problem with being on time.
You did?
Yeah, but I've changed here now. I've changed this. So don't play with me. This I'm fixed. You should see me rushing tonight. Because I'm gonna stick with this, but it's something that I keep falling into that. And what it is, I realize that I'm not falling into stuff because I don't know better. I'm falling into stuff because I don't oversleep. Very few times in my life have I overslept to go to work or whatever. But I have this, I guess they'll call it OCD. I get up and I find 40 things to do that has nothing to do with me going to work. And so I'm ready and I turn back and I'm like, let me just wash that pot. Or let me just always finding something else. And so I end up being late. So I'm always falling into that, I would say, a trap of thinking I can do more in a short space of time.
For me, I keep on falling. It brings me to the point where I realize that I have to embrace my mistakes in life and learn from them and keep forging ahead. You know, when you look at a child, at a baby, at an infant who's just learning to walk, they make 3-4 steps and they drop. What do? They get back up. They make 2 more and they fall again. And you there as the parent, you over them and you, no, be careful. And that child, no. And they keep pushing, they keep on falling and they keep on getting up. They keep falling, they keep on getting up. Before you know it, now they want to walk the street with you. You in a rush, you got to go, but they want to walk. No, I've been waiting on this for the longest while. You trying to hold them. No, they're kicking out. They want to walk. And they would have never gotten to that point if they didn't keep falling and getting up, if they didn't keep trying. And if it's okay for a child to do that and eventually learn, why is it founded upon as adults when we fall, when we misstep, when we stutter step, when we make errors in judgment? Why is it frowned upon as adults? Why do we beat up on ourselves when we fail at certain tasks? Why do we beat up on ourselves so much? It's okay to fail. It's okay to fall down once you don't stay down.
Because most people are looking for validation from family or friends. And when you don't get that or you get reproach, they feel even worse. If you don't look for, hey, this is what it is. Let me do better next time. Let me try to do better next time. Heaven's sakes.
But falling is an interesting thing, because one of the things I'm sure most of us know it is that when you fall, first thing you do is look around to see if somebody saw you fall. And we get it by, it's like, oh, did they see me? And so,
well, Judith, no, man. You know what I see happening recently with that fall down? The first thing the woman them do is grab for the wig.
Oh, Lord.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, Lord.
Present company is excluded from that in the comment.
The first thing they do is grab for the wig or straighten it up. They even looking to see if the foot break or not. They grab the wig and put it back on the head. Because they're more afraid of how people see them as their true selves. Because that wig is just a cover up. They don't comb the hair. It's full of...
Well, obviously, I would not have that issue.
It's full of...
I wouldn't have that issue, sir. But I have fallen, and I've done that as like, oh, what if somebody's watching? But the most interesting part of falling is that I was reading something today, a book called Streams in the Desert. We read it together every few days. And one of the things it says that we should be grateful for the missteps and the difficulties, because that's what brings us to the successes. So it's the same idea with falling, And sometimes when you fall, you should stay down for a little while. That's something I've learned. Stay down for a little while, because there's some lessons. There's some lessons that you can't reach when you're standing straight. When you're standing erect, there's some lessons you cannot learn. But when you're down, one of the most powerful lessons I've learned is to know how to rest for a while when I fall. Some of us get up too quickly, and we end up falling many more times if we had just stayed settled for a while and say, well, let me see what's going on down here. But we are so quick to prove to people we know how to get up. We're so quick. We want to get over the embarrassment of having fallen. And I remember some years ago, a few years ago, people that know me fairly well said to me, Judith, I had lost my home and all this stuff had happened, and people was getting a kick out of messing with me. They was like, oh, you think you're that? And I remember a couple of people said to me, you used to be such a go-getter. I said, yeah, and I used to go get a lot of garbage and have to throw it back. So one of the things that I learned from falling is to stop go-getting for a while. It's okay. It's okay, because falling can be a powerful thing. It's a place of rest for a while to recuperate so you can stand up and do even better than you did before. So it's a great thing to fall if you know how to use it.
I read somewhere recently that somebody tried to diss Halle Berry, and they made a sort of under the breath comment in her presence, and they said, Halle Berry, what? She can't even keep her husband. And she turned around and she said, who said I wanted to keep them?
Yeah, I heard about it.
So sometimes people, the public look at you in a certain way and they don't understand some of the decisions you make. That's for your betterment. Right. And they think that you're suffering or you're punishing because it appears to them that way, and they don't really know what's really going on behind the scenes, or what's in your heart, or what you have paved out for you, in terms of your goals and your vision. And they tend to judge based on their own
Somebody said something to me that's similar. Somebody said to me in Florida, the church I used to go, they said to me, I married a second time and very young. He's 13 years younger than me. And this lady in the church said to me, look at Sam. The lady said to me, she said to me, hey, Stella. So for more, because sometimes it's a little hard for me. I was like, eh?
Say what? Back.
Say who?
You get the groove back?
That's exactly what she said to me. Well, I'm Stella. And I didn't get it at first. And when I got it, I looked at her, I said, I never lost my groove. She was like, oh, crap. Don't tell me that now, because I never lost my groove.
So, Judith, that just reminds me, I vibe a lot with African music. And there's an African guy that, my goodness, I should have researched this before I come on the show. He has a song called something, he's running after me, or he's
running after me.
He's running. Wait, you listen to African? You listen to African music too?
Who are you talking to? Me?
Yes.
I'm African.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
I'm African.
So you familiar with the song I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
What is it? He or she's running after me?
He is. He's talking about the Lord.
Oh, okay. I just remember the title since you talk about your cougar-esque experience.
Ain't no cougar nothing.
Yeah. You said I have something, but he's running
I'm just
after
a
me.
natural woman. Ain't no cougar nothing.
What the guy named Timber something?
Malani is something name.
Yeah, something like this.
It's a very powerful song because he says, all my life you've been faithful. All my life you've been running after me. And he's talking about the Lord. And I mean, well, we run after different things. Some of us do. I don't run a lot after things. Sometimes I wonder if something is wrong with I don't really run after anything. But for me, knowing that I look at my life and I know that the Lord has been running after me. I know that he's been faithful to me. I was this morning on my way to work, I was thinking, there's no way I could have lived this long and lived this well, especially in the last several years, unless God had not been running after me. Changed my life completely. So very powerful song. And a matter of fact, when I got sick, when I had the virus, is when I heard it first. And I was on the couch and I was really, really having a difficult time. I said, okay, since you're not going to take me, because I felt, I was going to die. Because, it was horrible. And so I said, well, since you're not going to take me, give me some lessons. And I laid on that couch about 1:45 in the morning. And I said, I need something more. I need something more. I need to hear something more. And I went onto my Facebook page and that song was on there. And I listened to it. And I try to listen to it every day, at least once a day, because the lyrics are so powerful. And he's running after me. I had the nerve to turn around and stop and see him. Has made all the difference in my life. So
panelists, in closing, tell me, what are you running after? Crickets. Wow.
Running after, crickets is just a little introspection. Introspection is different than crickets, people. Running after, I should say, trying to get on a path towards a future that I'll feel is fulfilling. Being in the place where I'll be very, very comfortable. So I'm running after that future that is so appealing to me, in a country setting, hopefully, in my own, beautiful country setting. That's what I'm after. So that's what I'm running after. A future that I can claim as my own.
Sam? I don't want to hear nothing but he running after you. That might be the police. I don't want to hear about that. Tell me what are you running after?
You have to learn to face your fears. And once you can face your fears, It's like graduation, you know.
Start again.
It's like Neo in the Matrix, you know. In the first week, he, you know, for him to come into the Neo that he became, he had to face death. It was just how it was, you know. So what am I running after? I'm not running towards death. That's a metaphor. You know, it's like a metaphor. So you're running to face where you need, you know, get it out the way. What test we have to do? What task you have? You know, make haste. Because you don't know what you're rocking with. I buried 2 friends recently. Young people my age. They're not here again. They roll out. So whatever task you have in front of you, run and get it done, man. Wrap it up. As best as you can, as quick as you can. That's my 2 cents.
Mr. Henry, panel.
So you done?
No. Oh, sorry. You talking to me?
Yeah, I want to make sure you done.
No, I wanted to say that Saturday coming, I was supposed to go to a prom for the high school where I work to chaperone students who are graduating. And I've never been to a prom, not my own and nothing. I've never been to one. And I thought, well, maybe this is a gift, you know, you get to go to the prom. And what I'm running after is genuine, sincere people. And I think it was, I went to a beautiful wedding on Saturday, and Saturday night, I think it came to me, don't go to the prom. And today I was telling my coworkers why I wasn't going. And one of the reasons clearly is that I'm running after sincerity. I'm running after real people. I'm tired of people talking just because, you know, they're in this room and they talk about yellow and this yellow, and they speak about a certain room, and they go in the next room and they talk about the same yellow in a different way. I can't take people who are inconsistent and not sincere. And a lady, one of our administrators died 3 weeks ago, and I went to the funeral. And the people who are at the school, who see you every day, they act like they don't see you. At the funeral, they act like they don't see you. And these are the people who are going to be at the prom. And it occurred to me they're going to come dressed up because everybody's trying to show off. They're going to come dressed up and they're going, hi. And I don't want them to say hi to me. I mean, that's how I feel about life. Don't speak to me. Because if you went to a funeral and you see, like Sam just said, people are dying. People are always going to be dying. But people close to your age start dying and stuff, and you don't recognize anything. And you're playing games with me? Don't talk to me. I'd rather you never speak to me again, because the insincerity is too much. So I'm not going to the prom. You know what? If I want to be insincere, I can find a bunch of people without getting dressed up to go out there to be insincere with. So I'm running after honesty. I'm just running after people who want to be real. I can't take the fake stuff. So that's what I'm running, and I'm running after peace. I went at the wedding, the lady whose daughter got married, she called me yesterday. She said, Judith, you have peace. And I thank God for that. So I'm running after peace, and that means I keep people around that are honest and sincere and peaceful. That's it, sir.
As for me, I started running after a few things. And then I realized I was kind of running in circles because I was running so fast that, wait a minute. Yeah. So then I decided to stop running.
We went around the world.
I decided to stop chasing. And because what I realized is that whatever you're chasing is also chasing you. So it was one of those kind of things. I said, no, maybe I just need to slow down. And now I'm at a point where I'm attracting. I'm attracting the right things, attracting the right people by putting out that energy as to what it is I want, as to who it is I want in my life. And that's what I'm doing. Attracting it to me. I've stopped running. I've stopped chasing. I'm now attracting. By becoming the type of person, by becoming the type of person.
Great point.
That I want to be. Becoming the type of person I envision myself. You don't wait until you get the office job to start dressing like you're going to the office.
I agree. Yeah.
You have to make that part of your persona. You have to make that part of your personality.
I changed my mind and I'm not chasing nothing.
Just attract it.
There you go.
I see Empress Judith agreed with me on that. So wait, have somebody agreeing with me on the show. Thank you, Empress Judith.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? I was running down affection because everybody was showing all the love and everything.
You get some tonight. You get some affection.
And I wasn't. Yeah. You see, I stopped chasing the love. I stopped chasing it, and I get some from Empress Judith. Even though this Judith here ain't gonna give me none, and the other lady up there. I ain't business with them no more. Empress Judith, thank you, because you are enough. I am enough indeed. Mr. Archer.
Yes, sir.
What episode was this tonight?
You all ready? 10. 20. 30. 40.
Episode number 40. We generally do this at the beginning of the show.
Not even 40, 40.
Thought we forgot, but we did not. Episode number 40. I can't wait to see you all next week. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Lucy O'Brien, Empress Judith, Smith, and the other people that I mentioned, Andrea, Diane, Roxanne, Martin, Miles to Infinity. Oh, I promise I was vexed with you. Miles to Infinity Production. Rhonda Fowler, our guest for coming on with us tonight. Carol Knight. And we are missing somebody. Yvonne Samuel. Denise Williams. And I'm saving the best for last. Miss Sherry Ann Sylvester. And Miss Lucy O'Brien. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Rest up. Have some restful sleep tonight. Peace.
Ciao.